Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I say afternoon because I'm doing this a little bit earlier than usual. It's Sunday afternoon, and the Filipino boys are putting on a barbecue. From by all reviews from the last one they put on, they're a wizard on the bloody hot plate. So I'm looking forward to a bit of Filipino food. And on top of that, old Kimbo, he's a Farang fella, but he must know his way around a bit of Thai cookery. He's doing a little bit of a contribution too of some Thai food. And to paraphrase Brooksy, our supervisor, Kimbo's everything you look for in a chef. If he was 2 foot taller, he'd be perfectly round. No one wants a skinny chef. Anyway, there's not much going on at this job. I'm sort of got 1 foot out the door. I haven't given notice yet, but I've got 1 more week here. I'll take 2 weeks off, and then I'll come back for another 2 weeks swing before Christmas. And the way it's looking, I'm probably not coming back after Christmas. It's not that I'm being overworked. It's quite actually the opposite. It's you can walk around all day and be social, and for a while that was great. I don't mind flexing the social muscle for a while, but I never thought I'd ever say this, but easy money is it's not good for the soul. Eventually idle hands do the devil's work, all that sort of superstitious nonsense, which I quite happen to agree with. So I've got another gig coming up in the new year, even though it's not 100% official just yet. A little bit closer to home, an extra. It'd just be rude to talk about how much more money, but it's quite a substantial amount of money extra. So, fun times ahead. It's always good to, I like to move around a lot. I used to be the kind of guy that would stick in a job for years upon years upon years. But then I never really knew at the time. I wouldn't have had the words to describe it. But, looking back, it's everything they describe clinical depression to be. When you stay in a job too long where you're no longer getting stimulation, it's no good for you. You've got to be learning. So I actually I did a bit of self-reflection. A few years ago, I sort of broke myself down when I was giving up drinking, and I sort of rebuilt myself back up to work out where were my problems coming from. I come from a stable household. I've got multiple means of making money. I'm not doing it tough in any way, shape, or form. But I sort of worked out that most of my problems stem from work, and it's not working per se that's the problem. It's when you're not learning something, you're not building something, you're not contributing to something greater than yourself. You're not part of a group where you're are all bouncing ideas off each other, and you've got that sort of dynamic, or you're not teaching someone something. Those are some of the things that really make working worthwhile for me. And then if you don't have that, if you don't have a challenge, you're not rising to something, you don't have a deadline to beat, it soon drives you into some really, really dark places. That's what I find, but people they find themselves stuck, and I found myself stuck for a while before I realised that the only one that's forcing you into this cage is yourself. You don't. Loyalty is dead these days. All these companies, they'll wipe you like a dirty ass as soon as the bottom line tells them that you're no longer needed. Wait till AI starts kicking in fair income, you're going to be out the door. So I try to show a little bit, if a company's been good to me, I try to stick around and help them, get a job over the line. But, there's a lot of times they just don't show that sort of commitment to you. So I show them the same commitment, which is none. Time to go. Catch ya. It's been great. Go on to the next one, And to be honest, it really improved my mental state when I realised that I have the skills that I can just hit the ground running on any sort of, within reason. I'm not going to try and bloody build a bridge by myself, and I've never built a bridge, but I'm sure I can pick up the basics if I worked. Why did I come up with bridges? I don't know. I've got no interest in fucking building bridges. I burn more than I build. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying. We don't. If you're ever feeling stuck, the doors keeping you in, they open out also. You can hit the road, Monkey grabs the next branch before he jumps off, before he lets go of the first one. Generally, that's usually the best way to do it. Don't jump out in the wilderness without something to jump onto. But things generally turn out alright. If you're good at what you're doing and you've got a little bit of self-confidence and a little bit of desire to learn, a little bit of nous to solve problems, that's one thing that's severely lacking in this world. Is problem solvers. The amount of people I work with that just expect solutions to be handed to them rather than just saying, A is our problem and B is the solution we require. So all I need to do is talk to this guy who has that key to that lock, and people don't do that. They expect it to be handed to them. Anyway, so I don't know where this is going, but just work rant. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, if you think I'm on the money, hit that like and subscribe button. If you think I'm full of shit, hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to drop me a comment and tell me where I'm wrong or where I'm spot on. But don't be taking on the problems of the world trying to change something that's broken. There's a whole wide world out there. Jobs are everywhere. Get on them. Today's a beautiful day to be alive. It's Sunday the 16th, is it? Yeah, 16th of November, 2025.